What the hell does it sound? Oh, it's feedback.
From what?
What the hell does it sound? Haha. Oh, it's feedback.
Ha-ha!
Because I'm...
Feedbacking?
Hey.
Hey, buddy, what's going on?
I was playing around with it. I was logged into the YouTube site.
Okay.
I guess was where we'll link to the listeners, and you cannot be in there at the same time. Otherwise, the mic is not happy, and it makes all kinds of racket on the live.
Okay. So you can't be in this chat and the YouTube at the same time.
At least I couldn't, but I'm using the webcam mic right now, so it might be different if I have a headset on. I'm not sure.
So I think you're the only one who has the YouTube link, right?
Let me. I did make the show public. Let me see if I can give it to you. What happened to it?
If you want to put it in the chat or something, whatever.
Yeah. Must have. Oh, I closed it because.
Because I looked in like settings and it doesn't give it to me. So I think you would be the only. Whoever makes it, I think, is the only one who gets the address.
Okay. And then I can't. When I was typing in the chat on YouTube, I can't see it on our chat either. So I don't know how that connects or So if we can't be in the chat on YouTube and we can't see it on the chat through the Hangout, then
I have to think there's a way though, because I know that like the DFS Power Hour's done it.
okay.
So
Maybe
once you give it to me, I'll see if I can do it.
Okay, I'm pulling it up right now. Maybe I am. I closed it, and now let's see if it lets me back in. Oh, here we go. Oh, sorry, I put it in Voxer. I'll put it in.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I can go back into my Voxer on here, and I actually logged into it, so on the desktop for the first time.
Oh, nice. I'm gonna put
I can go back and get it from there.
Okay. I'm gonna put my earbud.
There it is.
See if that does anything.
Ooh, it's definitely on a lag, I think.
Oh, it definitely is. Yeah. Okay, never mind. The problem was me because I just was talking into it and it didn't like that. But if I have the headphones on, it seems to work fine.
All right. Wanted to see if the two chats cross streams here, like if this group chat in the Hangout would show up on the YouTube or vice versa.
Yeah, I don't think it does, unless there's an option somewhere.
Yeah, I don't think it does, which is fine. At least that gives us somewhere to chat separately. And then what I did was I just paused the YouTube stream, but then we have the live chat on the side, which is all we'd want to have anyways if we want to answer questions.
Right.
So.
Okay. Yeah, I don't see a special option to do it. There's under options, shows participants pop out chat. Oh, you can just that'll be easier to do. You just pop it out and then drag a little window next to your video.
That's what I'm seeing too.
I think that's the only way.
And then if you close it, it'll restore the chat into the.
Yep.
I see Dan Myler on here.
What's up, Dan?
Hey guys. Matt, you look weird.
I don't have a hat on, I know, right?
What the heck? You got to wear your Packer hat tomorrow.
I know, seriously.
Dude, I'm wearing glasses, so I mean, we're all kind of.
Did you see, Dan? I just saw on Twitter, by the way, that Mayock has the Packers taking Alvin Kamara with their first round pick.
I saw that.
I want to scream.
Yeah, that's. I'm not a big Mayock guy, but he's right a lot, and he better be wrong about that.
He was my favorite one until
I'm so convinced he's wrong about that.
I hope so. He was one of my favorite ones until they started putting him on everything, and now I think he just doesn't have the time to do all the work he used to do.
I couldn't agree more.
Yes.
So, did you guys check out the YouTube? Does it look good?
Yeah, it works.
I think anything I type in this group chat in here, I think only shows up to us.
Yep.
And then there's the separate group chat that's in the live chat that's in the YouTube page.
Oh, sweet.
I wish there was a way to join them, but I don't see a way.
Yeah, I don't think so. I just think what we'll have to do is, and that's okay, because I think this one the one in our Google Hangout, we can use to communicate.
Yeah.
And then.
Oh yeah, it sounds. I can hear it in the background, and it sounds delayed.
It is delayed.
It is delayed.
So
yeah.
I just paused it. I just paused the feed.
How far behind is it?
Couple seconds.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a stopwatch.
Yeah, it's
but-
about 8 or 10 seconds, I think.
Yeah. So that's slightly annoying.
But not a whole lot we can do with that. Hopefully, it's not. I wonder, are they streaming it live on YouTube? If that's the case, then we might have some bandwidth issues.
It's
maybe.
about 10 seconds behind. I just counted. It was 10
Okay.
seconds after you said it's slightly annoying.
I mean,
That's an excellent
Nothing
view, Matt.
yeah.
I wasn't convinced you weren't bald, Matt.
You thought I was bald? Dang.
No, I wasn't convinced that you weren't.
Have I worn the hat for every show?
I think so.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh wow! All right. Well,
The same one too. I was sure either you only owned one hat or you were bald.
well, I do only own 3 hats, really. So
At least you wear the cool one for the podcast.
Yeah.
So, what do we think of the agenda thing that Nick put together, or Matt?
Well,
did you do
Matt
something else,
sent
or-
one out. Matt just sent one out. Yeah.
Okay, that's a fail on my part. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
oh no,
I
Is
not
it
at all.
better than
I like
Nick's?
the idea of having the timestamps. We just have to keep up with it.
Yeah, yeah. we need to. I need something to remind me because I will forget.
Yeah.
Or
Well, there's
I'll forget
there's enough of
every
us. So
pick or whatever. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, the big ones are going to be the offensive players.
Right.
So that's one, but I think that's good to have. I think, the prediction thing, I was kind of wavering. I don't know.
We don't have to. Nick just
Well-
threw it out there as a game, so I was like, I'll just put it in there.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad idea. I mean, would we do it just once the one pick ends, we're putting in our pick for the next pick? Is that how we kind of do it?
I don't know.
We try to
I
put
guess
it-
I was just guessing yeah, that's what I thought. We would just all put them in before the draft starts, but
I'd do it either way. I don't care.
I think that's how most of the I think NFL.com is running a pick challenge or something like that. I think that's the
Sure.
way they do it.
There's a lot of live draft stuff tomorrow from other podcasts and stuff.
Yeah, but DLF has a really strong following.
Yeah,
we're gonna have people watching.
Yeah.
There
Oh,
are
I
tons.
agree.
Lots of people watching.
There
I
are
think
way
so.
more than I thought there were going to be this year. It seems this year everybody's doing it all of a sudden. A
Yeah.
few years ago, it seemed like it was just a couple, and then last year was a little bit more, and now.
Right. And that's why I talked to so RotoViz asked me to go on theirs, and I told them that we're doing ours. And then I brought up the idea of, well, what if for next year we consider doing a crossover and we have us kind of join forces, because they have a pretty big following too. They're not a small website either.
Yeah, for sure.
And my
Is
thought is
there?
they're into Dynasty as well. So
Yeah. Is there anything we could prep for? When you said, George, that there's going to be offensive linemen, there's going to be defensive tackles picked, and we have to fill that time, and we don't have the benefit that ESPN and NFL Network have of commercial breaks.
right.
There's
no
has to be
commercial
something
breaks.
happening there.
There's no and we don't want to just lean on Bill or whoever, because
Yeah.
because we could do that to an extent, right? Like certain guys they're going to be excited about, but there are going to be guys where they're it's a cornerback, we don't really care, they're interchangeable. That's not really
Right.
the crux of IDP. Just like offensive linemen for us, it doesn't matter that much.
Right.
So I think we just have to kind of think of and I added a column at the end, just kind of filler topics. I was trying to think of different things. So if we want to add some other stuff there,
Yeah, for
I
sure.
thought free agency talk. I thought about, how are these draft picks going to impact startup drafts? I thought that could be an interesting conversation.
Yeah, and that's a conversation that can kind of stop and go as picks happen too. That's a long running thing that can happen.
Right.
When Fournette gets picked and is followed up by a defensive tackle and an offensive guard, you can fill that entire 30 minutes with Fournette talk. We don't have to get
because
crazy.
kind of to what Matt had on the on that line about talking points for each pick. It's we're not going to hit everything in 10 minutes, right? We're going to be talking about what's their impact going to be, how are they going to fit with the team, where do they slot in rankings, whether it's positional rankings, overall rankings, rookie rankings, all that stuff. I mean, there's a lot to cover. So I agree. I think some of that will definitely run for multiple picks.
So, what's going to happen is we're going to have a conversation happening, and we're all going to look over at our TVs and see Goodell walking to the podium. Yeah. And we're going to step on each other a lot, saying, "Oh, wait, there's a pick coming in," and then we're going to all do the, "Oh, let's
right.
Who is it?" We have to try to make that entertaining. Still, there has to be somebody has to keep talking during that point while somebody else is kind of monitoring the TV and watching the pick happen. And then in our chat in here, it would be helpful if one person always just typed in the pick. Just type it in.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Yeah. Sure.
Just because somebody has to keep talking. We can't have 10-second or 20-second lags of nothing happening, because people are going to turn it off and be like, okay, they're more interested in the draft than giving out knowledge. I really wish there was a way to tune into ESPN and put it over ours. It's just so we could get the Goodell part, or if there was something we could do personally, like a draft sound, like you get on a website when you're on the clock in a fantasy draft, and then we announce that pick, and that kind of changes the gear of the conversation. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, we could find the sound effect pretty easily, but yeah, I don't know. In terms of us announcing it, we're going to be late, right? And people watching are already going to know before they see us talk, announce the pick.
Right. Okay. So maybe announcing it isn't the right way to put it, but I don't want it to be one of those things. You hear it on talk radio so much where Matt and George are having a conversation, and all of a sudden Dan chimes in and says, "Oh, Corey Davis just went to the Titans," and it just sounds so cheap and terrible. Like, we need to have a few things put in place where, okay, allow this conversation to end,
right,
and then transition into the next thing.
Well, and that's where I think a few things. One, I think maybe we need to define some roles for ourselves.
Yes, for sure. There was talk of people, let's just see how it goes, and I think we at least need an outline.
Yeah, I think if somebody has the responsibility to monitor kind of the chat and the YouTube, I think that's one thing that needs to happen. Like you said, one person who's kind of recording the draft picks, whether we want to do that on the group chat or we want to do that on the Google Doc.
I like the Google Doc thing. The Google Doc's good.
We just would need to have, obviously, everyone needs to have up multiple screens to make it work.
Right, but somebody has to be a big focus of what they're doing. That's the first thing I have to do is get that pick in there.
Right, and I think there's just someone who needs to moderate the entire conversation.
Right.
I hate that we call it a host or whatever, but there definitely needs to be a point person to moderate the conversation.
Right. I think we need to choose that. Is everybody going to be available for the entire time period?
Sounds like it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think somebody should just grab the bull by the horns and be the lead.
Yeah.
And if it was a nomination thing, I would say, George, you're the guy that would.
That's fine with me. I have no problem doing that. Yeah.
Are you all right with that, Matt?
Oh,
I know it's a little bit your baby. This whole thing.
No. Well, and I'm sure we'll all have to step away because I'm not gonna be able to hold it for 3+ hours.
4 beers in,
Yeah. So Matt, if you want to kind of take over, if I step away or if I need a break, I can group chat and say, Matt, you want to take over the next couple picks?
Of course.
Yeah.
We can kind of alternate some responsibility there.
I do hope we have more than 5 skill positions that go in the draft, though. Otherwise, this is going to be a little rough, man.
I'm thinking there will be at least 8.
I think there'll be at least 8 too. I went through the exercise today.
I did too.
I thought of that. What if only 4 players go? We're going to be
3 running backs, 3 receivers, 2 tight ends. Is that what you're thinking?
And then a couple quarterbacks potentially.
Well, right, quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I really only think for sure 1 tight end's going to go. I think
Howard is the for sure.
Yeah,
Howard's the for sure, and I think Njoku is the next one that could go.
So?
I really do. I think people are people are in love with him, and especially if a tight end goes before the Giants, because I think the Giants are they're taking a tight end. It seems like to me, it really does.
Yeah, because I just don't think the offensive lineman just doesn't exist in this draft. So they
There's not enough. There's only a couple that are really that really get a lot of people excited. So, and then,
but I like
unfortunately, this is a draft that's full of those pass rushers and defensive players that is going to just fill up that first round.
But that's what I like about having like Doug and them on, is at least, if we're not the most comfortable with it, we're going to have someone on who's comfortable with it and can speak to it, because there are like good safeties and good middle linebackers and stuff that like actually are important to that side of the ball.
Right. And I can contribute to some extent, for sure.
And I can too. Yeah.
Right. I'm kind of a draft nerd. I like to watch all the mocks, and I don't watch film on defensive players. If they didn't play in the Big Ten, I don't know a lot about them outside of what other draft guys say. So
they play defense in the Big Ten.
There are some people out there that think it matters.
Go figure. So what? All right. So we need to have one person do like kind of handle the questions and try to like encourage that too. I think that's part of it.
Okay. I think the host I think that a part of that falls on you, George, because you're going to be kind of directing the ship a little bit.
Yeah, I can definitely like try to encourage it verbally, but I also think that it might be worthwhile to have someone who's monitoring the YouTube chat who occasionally like says like,
"Oh, for sure.
Hey, what'd you guys think of the Fournette pick? You have any questions?" That type of thing.
Okay, good. Yeah, and you're gonna have a lot of opportunities to fill.
Yeah,
George. So do the radio thing where you like every 10 minutes you can say, "I'm George Kritikos. I'm joined by my friends, blah 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 blah," and we're doing a live draft. Phil, use that
for sure. Absolutely.
And I was thinking
20 seconds that gives everybody else a breath. And
I was thinking plugging podcasts, draft coverage, all that type of stuff. I think we definitely need to do that. So I was going to try to write
that was going to be my next point
tomorrow. Yeah,
you're right. That post that Ken did on the website.
Yeah,
I would just have that. That's like a live read that you can do pretty much. That make sure you're checking out Twitter and make sure you're checking out the live blog. We're also doing the updates on the new update tool. Pimp that stuff as much as you can. And
my thought was try to plug a podcast about every half hour or so.
Yep.
Try to plug the draft coverage about every 15 minutes or so, and then do like you said, hey, it's Matt, it's Dan, it's Nick, it's George. We're joined by Doug or whoever.
We're on the same page.
We should direct all chat into the YouTube channel though, because I don't want to be monitoring like Twitter questions and that at the same time. I think we should have somebody though that is 15 minutes, half an hour, does tweet out a link to it again or something like that.
That's a good idea.
Whoever can run maybe the main pod. I don't know who has the most followers. Does the podcast account have a lot of followers? Is that the best one to tweet from, or should we have like you or Nick do it? Probably.
I can try to do it a few times, and I can ask. Eric has a ton of followers, so does Ryan McDowell. So I can ask the two.
Eric and Ryan. That's what I was going to say. Eric and Ryan, just get them on board. That would help a lot.
Yeah, and I mean, luckily we have pretty good, people that we're friendly with, and I think other sites are going to be willing to push
for sure.
ours as well. I mean, I know that some are doing their own coverage, but not everybody is. So
right.
I saw that Matt Kelly's doing with Yahoo. I heard.
Whoa.
Really?
Yeah, I heard he's got
that
some.
Seems
kind
a
of
little mainstream for Kelly.
Yeah,
that seems a lot mainstream.
Yeah,
wow.
He's got some kind of thing in place with them where they've been starting to use some of his data and stuff, and I guess he's going to be part of that process. Yeah.
Yeah, really good for him.
So
so I can help out with either one of those things, George. If you want me to be the guy who is watching the YouTube thing to make sure there's not questions popping up,
that's
I can be that guy.
Yeah, and I guess I'll like enter picks and stuff then, and then we can give Nick whatever's left over.
Yeah.
Well, Nick's gonna have his hands full talking about the Devi report. So.
Oh goodness. Before I forget, Doug did mention that he has some I can't remember exactly, something to do with his daughter that he said should be done well before he has to be on because he's on the first hour. but so there is this chance that he might be a few minutes late or something like that.
That's fine.
So
we can.
When are we like launching? What time are we?
We need to
hitting
launch. We need to launch like probably 10-15 minutes before the draft
At least
starts.
15, I was going to say, yeah.
So you want to say
we can maybe start ours, like we can either get together like 20 minutes or half an hour before, and then we click the live button, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe
I got to
15
do the early
minutes before.
dinner with the wife, and then I said, do whatever you want the rest of the day.
Yeah, mine's taking one of her friends out for dinner too. So
My wife won't be home till right before 7, so you might have to man the ship without me.
That's fine. You know, and that's the thing
For the
too.
first
Like
few
if all
minutes.
of us are going to be around, then it's okay if there's little breaks where someone's gone
Yep.
for 15 minutes or whatever.
Sure. Okay. I will keep you guys in the loop on the Voxer machine though, and let you know.
Yeah. So do you guys want to plan? You want to call it 6:40 or 4:40 for
yeah.
you, Matt?
Yep,
I know
absolutely.
that you'll
Seems
probably
so early,
eat dinner
but,
at some
yeah.
point.
Yeah, I'll probably stop and get something quick on the way home from work. I get off work at 2:30 my time, so I should be able to stop and get something and then get a shower before we have to go.
I'm just working from home, so
And then hammer down.
And then hammer down.
Yeah.
So,
I'm
yeah,
gonna go.
yep, I'm
I'm gonna go
excited, man.
put in a flagpole tomorrow morning, and then prep for this the rest of the
So
day.
you want to say 20 minutes early we get on, and then maybe 15 or 10 minutes before we start.
I'd say
getting it
10
out?
minutes is about right to
Maybe
launch.
maybe at like 15, and that we say, hey, we're getting ready to start. Stay tuned for the link or whatever. Like
Yeah, that's a good idea. And I think we need to
Yeah.
make sure to bombard it tomorrow out. I sent something out today about draft coverage and all that. But let's
do
try
that
to
tonight,
do that
for
tomorrow too.
Yep.
Let's try to overdo it almost a little bit.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't hurt to do it every couple hours.
Yeah. I
All
would
of us.
agree. Yeah, I'd agree.
I want everybody to know. Let's not do this and then find out that there were a whole bunch of people that watched
Didn't know
ESPN
about it.
because they didn't know about it
One
and are bummed about it.
other question. Do we want to, if we see someone really active on Twitter that we know has been on podcasts before or something, do we want to be like, hey,
Jump on for a pick or two.
whoever, hey, do you want to come on and spend 10 minutes talking about the last pick or something like that?
It would be cool. It'd be fun to do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, what whoever it is, I don't.
I know,
I'm open
Dan,
to it.
Dan Sanio is going to be on the Shotcast for a little bit. He's going to be on
Yeah.
the Road ones. I'm sure he would.
They
want
keep
to
saying
jump
I'm going to
for
be on
5
the
minutes or
shotcast,
whatever.
and they never asked me. So
Yeah. I think he was throwing out invites today. I think Jeremy asked about it.
yeah, I saw that. I was on the shotcast last year. I don't know if either of you guys watched it. It was a shit show.
I've heard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was like 10. They had, so you can only put 10 people on a Google Hangout. That's the max. They had 10 on. Everyone's talking over everyone. There's no agenda or anything. All they're doing is complaining or yelling or just talking about random shit. And it's it's entertaining in if I'm drinking all night, it can be kind of fun kind of way, but it's really tiresome for me because I was just I'm not the type who wants to butt in and yell over Frank.
Oh yeah. God, I can't even imagine. Yeah, I would just be sitting there pretty much oh yeah, I'll listen to whatever you guys say.
Yeah, and everyone was getting hammered, and that part's fine, but it's it just got sloppier and sloppier as the time went on. And I just eventually just hung up. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
All right, well, cool. Anything else?
I think that's everything.
I think that about does it.
Yeah.
I feel a lot better about it now after talking to you guys, and we have a little bit of a game plan for it.
Yeah.
I was worried it was going to be a little bit of a cluster, but it sounds like
I think we'll be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know we'll be all right. I just don't want it to be too many voices, a little bit like what you were talking about. Sometimes you get 4 guys together and it can be, and even 5 guys, it can get pretty deep.
Yeah.
I think there's enough time to fill though. There's going to be plenty of time. And then George was saying, which I didn't even think of before, is somebody's going to need to go to the bathroom or get another drink or whatever, so I think it'll be fine with that.
I'm probably bringing a bottle of scotch downstairs and it's going to sit there. And
George is going to be pretty loose by the time we get those picks into the 20s. Then
it's gonna be like our pre-NFL season episode where all of us were on. I was pretty lit by the time we even started the podcast, and then I kept drinking and I just got late.
Be like, the Kansas City Royals are on the clock.
All right, guys.
All right, guys. Well,
I think we're
sounds like
good.
we got a plan. I'll see you all tomorrow.
Yep,
For
sounds
sure. Have a
good.
wonderful night, guys.
All right. Good night, guys. Later.
Bye.